You know what? I'm feeling a little spicy today. Let's let's see if we can do hard mode care pack. I mean, why not, right? Nope. We begin today by doing what I should have done a couple videos ago. I gathered 15 extra magical threads, and we're gonna make the Grasping Rune Pouch. Not only does it hold an extra stack of runes, 4 rather than 3, but when equipped it also gives you a 25% chance to not use runes when casting a combat spell, whether the runes are in the pouch or not. You just gotta have it equipped. This next clip is an example of why the wilderness is still pretty dangerous. Also, as a warning to anyone making criminal bolts, if you die with your bolt tips, you lose them all. Pretty sure I lost a couple thousand this week, but I didn't get the footage because it surprised me. Either way, there were a couple dragons who didn't want me there, and they breathed on me and I died. While fighting lava strike worms, I realized how nice it'd be if I didn't have to pick up the ashes every kill. They're all spread out enough that you can't really use area loot. So much like the herbicide upgrade you can get from the player-owned farms where it'll pick up grimy herbs, you can also get the same thing for the Bonecrusher from Bonnie in the Ark. I've been doing some Ark skilling here and there because it's a pretty nice place just to relax and chill out. And from the resources, I've been making shark soup, so I had enough chimes and Taijitu to buy the upgrade. It cost 25,000 chimes and 25 Taijitu. Turns out it doesn't pick up ashes. It used to, but it doesn't anymore. When it first came out in 2016, it would pick up the ashes, but now it doesn't. So it was a bit of a waste of 25,000 chimes, but at least it'll come in handy when I need to collect wyvern bones. They're used to make super prayer potions, and we'll need plenty to upkeep a blessed flask. Yes, we will one day grind out a blessed flask. Not today, but one day. Whoa, teleporting off this island made it go all synthwave. I like it. Bank space has always been a problem for me, mostly because I'm a pack rat to begin with, and being an Ironman turns me into more of a dragon hoarding goblin monster, and just, I want the things. So first of all, we got a lot of compacted jewelry, and like 75 forging components sitting in my invention sack. We're gonna make a passage of the abyss and free up some of that bank space by putting the compacted jewelry into the passage. We're gonna fill it with a skills necklace, an amulet of glory, a ring of dueling, a games necklace, a traveler's necklace, and finally a combat bracelet. These pieces of jewelry seem like they'll be the most useful both for general use and for clue scrolls. I basically added them in the order of usefulness. I use the skills necklace a lot, getting to the fishing guild, invention guild, or mining guild. The glory is great for getting to the Shanty Pass or Draenor Market. The ring of dueling is mostly for teleports to Het's Oasis and Castle Wars. The games necklace is great for weekly Agaroth and Tears of Guthix, and I think the only way of getting to the Barbarian Outpost aside from switching to Lunars. The traveler's necklace takes us to the Wizard's Tower ground floor, good for that one easy clue step, and the outpost near the charm sprites, good for that one master clue step. And the combat bracelet can basically replace the Varrock lodestone with the Champions Guild teleport, and the Ranging Guild teleport will be fantastic for those few clues in the Heminster area. The best thing is that we can recharge the Passage of the Abyss with fortunate components, meaning we'll never have to make these pieces of jewelry again. And you get 500 teleports per fortunate component, so the cost is basically negligible. Wow, a call to action, are you surprised? Time to get some 99s. Again, I wanted to get 99 Divination a week or so ago because I had plenty of memory strands. The problem is that the Wilderness update made one of the engrams inaccessible, and when I prestige the memorial to Guthix, I like to return all the engrams all at once. That way, I don't leave it half finished. They fixed it the following Monday, thankfully, so we can get a whopping 823,000 Divination XP from turning in all 12 of these engrams. But we're not quite to 99 yet. Let me get a little more XP in the halls, and then return to where it all started, the place where divination began, where I got my first flex of XP. And that's 99. Yeah, I couldn't enter the cache at the Pale Wisp colony, otherwise it would have been more poetic, but you can't enter caches there for some reason. Anyway, the cape is interesting. It makes wisps last an extra 30 seconds after being activated, or whatever you'd call that little poke thing that the player does when you go up to it, you like poke it and then it starts to flow into you, that little thing. It only applies this effect once per wisp. So if you're in the community divination world at the incandescent colony, it's likely that someone there is wearing the cape and using the boost to make the wisps last a little bit longer. But since it only applies once per wisp, more than one person wearing the cape doesn't make a difference. So it's a useful perk. You've probably been taking advantage of it this whole time before you had 99. So it's an interesting cape in that it doesn't change anything once you get 99, since you already had the effect of it, but if nobody had it, then getting it would be really good. It's kind of weird that way. It's the nature of society, it's the nature of the group, or something. Now we move on to melee. I've got all my other combat skills at 99, strength and attack are the last two left. There are several options available for me. I could do ED3 runs, they're not quite as lucrative as they once were, but the XP is still nice. I could also camp abyssal demons or corrupted creatures or something like that with aggression potions. With the wilderness update, getting aggression potions is pretty easy since lava strike worms are relatively safe, you don't have to worry about PKers. But if you watched my How Fast to Max series, which was the first series I uploaded to YouTube, don't watch it, it's terrible. I trained melee using the Abyss. It's super chill, super AFK, and something I didn't realize until partway through the grind, but you proc the scavenging perk so damn often. I mean, it makes sense, you're killing thousands of enemies per hour. Of course you'd proc it very often. It's amazing. Recall that I said I like my grinds to be multifaceted. Well, this is XP grinding and component collection. Fingers crossed for some shadow components, those would be nice. So let's talk about my setup, since this is pretty high-end PVM we're dealing with here. So it's pretty complicated. My gear is a bit of a horrible mishmash of stuff. I didn't want to use more augmented gear than I needed to, since it really wouldn't provide any benefit and it would just cost charges. So I kept my bandos tacits in the bank. Next, you'll notice I have an armadillo chestplate. That's odd for someone using melee, right? It is. Well, I don't have scav 4 in my bandos gear, and I don't want to spend time getting the classic components to make the ancient gizmos to try to get scav 4 again. I have it on my armadillo chestplate, and I still have 100% accuracy even with that penalty. I'm using a Dragon Rider amulet for the extra prayer bonus. I don't need the Amulet of Souls, that really doesn't help here. With Holy Overloads and the Elven Ritual Shard, I don't have to worry too much about my prayer running out. If my prayer does drop, I have some bunyips to keep me healthy. Obviously, I'm using a Dragon Rider lance for the halberd range, since it makes killing things with AoE much faster. That's kind of a given. And finally, the Kinetic Cyclone. You don't need to use the Kinetic Cyclone. It's not here to pull aggro or anything. It's just a little bit extra damage, but unlike the Oldak coil, it grants me melee XP, not magic XP. Also, since I have the auto stocking upgrade, I don't need to click on it for it to keep firing. It's just passive damage, why not use it? And I got a ton of balls from Carapax, so cannonballs from Carapax, so I mean, I gotta use them for something, right? I was getting around 800,000 XP per hour, and I only need about 5 million, so we're looking at a 6 to 7 hour grind. Maybe 8 to 9, since you have to reset aggro every 10 minutes, and I'm not super attentive all the time. This is actually a pretty decent place to use the Scrimshaw of Sacrifice. The Scrimshaw increases your experience rate by 50% at the cost of destroying everything that the enemy drops. Since the abyssal creatures don't really drop anything useful, there is no harm in using the Scrimshaw. There's really no reason not to use it if you're a main, since they only cost a little over 1 mil for an hour worth of use, and you know, that's really cheap. For Ironman, they're a bit harder to get your hands on. You gotta get Mimic kill tokens, and you gotta kill the Mimic, then you gotta hope the Mimic drops the Scrimshaw, and if it does drop a Scrimshaw, you gotta hope it's the right Scrimshaw, because it usually drops Scrimshaws of aggression rather than Scrimshaws of sacrifice, blah, 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 blah. I'd rather save them for Gemstone Dragons, since they give a ton of Slayer XP. After a couple afternoons rampaging through the Abyss, I'm now just a sliver away from 99 attack and 99 strength. But I'm feeling a bit nostalgic, so let's get these 99s in style. I wish I didn't have to worry about copyrighted music. I would have loved to use both for my Valentine or Breaking Benjamin for that little montage, really make it feel like 2008. So the attack cape perk is odd. It has a 2% chance for degradable armor and weapons to not degrade. This doesn't apply to augmented items except the ones that degrade to dust, so something like Serenic. It has its uses, but what's that got to do with attack? Seems weird. The strength skill cape makes Dismember's Bleed last an extra 3.6 seconds, allowing it to hit an extra 3 times. Incredibly useful considering how bleed-centric melee is. Perk makes sense. It provides a direct effect on combat. The attack skill cape, not so much. I mean, if I'm honest, attack probably shouldn't even exist as a skill to begin with. Why is accuracy and power separated from melee but not for magic and ranged? It's weird. Or maybe attack should be like defense, trainable by all combat styles and affects all combat styles. Just a thought. Balancing that would probably be a spaghetti nightmare, so I understand why they haven't changed it. With all our combat skills at 99, we can create the Combatant's Cape, an all-style cape that can hold 2 skill cape perks in it. I'll throw in Strength and Ranged, both of which are useful in their respective combat styles. Now I know certain capes inherit the Max Capes perks, the 3 that you could put in it. Do those capes also inherit the Combatant Capes perks? Like, the Kiln Cape gets the Max Capes perks, but does it also get the Combatant Capes perks? I'm not sure. I should probably get a Kiln Cape or 2. I'm definitely capable of doing it, I just keep not doing it. I'm almost maxed, and I haven't once stepped foot into the fight kiln. Maybe next time. With these new 99s, we can not only unfurl a bunch more banners in the Max Guild Garden, but we can now attune the second skill portal. It requires you have 15 99s, and I believe attack and strength were number 15 and number 16. I'm gonna attune it to the fairy ring so that my Grace of the Elves can teleport us directly on top of the fairy ring in Zenaris. No more Legends Cape Bladed Die fairy ring. It served me well. I'll still use the Legends Cape for clue scrolls though. There's that one hard clue right outside the easy clue right out there. So our next 99 won't be fishing, but I would like to unlock the crystal fishing rod since it provides a 5% increased catch chance. I might not be able to disassemble it without losing the crystal tool seed, but that's okay because I don't care that much about invention experience anymore. Unlocking it is easy. It costs 3,000 urchin points, which you fish up from the Prifddinas. Okay, that was a typo. I wrote Prifddinas instead of Anyway, it costs 3,000 urchin points, which you fish up from the Prifddinas Waterfall. The small urchins are worth 1 point, mediums are worth 2, large is 3. You need 93, 95, and 97 fishing, respectively, to fish up each urchin. So we'll be here for a bit and get 96 in the process. Did you know a bunch of people do fish flingers on World 89? There's a friends chat and everything. They call it the correct bait, hook, distance combinations, and they help with catching big fish. You can get over 40 tokens per game. It's amazing. Doing it alone gets you like 25. Who'd have guessed baiting fish was easier with other people? You can't become a master at baiting on your own. Definitely makes getting the angler outfit a bit more bearable. I need to get back to this in the future. After getting 96 fishing and realizing I could fish the large urchins with a fishing potion, I finally got enough points to buy the ability to make crystal fishing rods. Let's just make one, augment it, there we go. The best non-hero fishing rod in the game. On to mining. I've been around 200,000 experience away from 99 for a while, but I was waiting until I was ready to start the smithing grind as well. Most of my mining XP came from Alea crablets on Uncharted Islands. They're great since you can transmute their materials into wabagong oil, which can be transmuted into turtle shell bowls. Great for making shark soups without having to hunt or fish. Anyway, just an hour or 2 of dark animica mining was enough to get me to 99. The skill cape is really useful, especially for Ironman since it increases the amount of ore you get, but the wording on the cape is such a tongue twister for me. Let me really lean into my New England accent for this. Provides plus 5% double ore chance on all core rocks, and whenever you roll to get more ore from a core ore succeeds, you get bonus XP equal to the level requirement of the rock. That one part of that sentence, more ore from a core ore. They wrote it like that on purpose. It's a good perk though, and we'll need it because we need more ore for more bars to train smithing. Some Ironmen recommend training smithing with Bane since Elder Rune also requires you to mine Rune and Luminite, but I ran out of Bane stone spirits and had a few thousand light animica stone spirits. Thank you, Carapac. I just went ahead and made a few hundred Elder Rune bars. I also burialized the Elder Rune set I had in my bank because I'm gonna make the Masterwork armor pretty soon anyway, and I won't need the Elder Rune anymore. Not trimmed Masterwork, not yet. Just the regular Masterwork. It's not as good as trimmed, but it's augmentable, which makes it leagues better than Elder Rune. Also, it's power armor, so that's pretty nice. And that's 99 smithing. Gotta say, those power strokes of power bursts of Masterwork? Power bursts of Masterstroke are really satisfying to use. You get these nice beefy hits with it. If you put the sound effects on when you're hitting the hammer, just a whoom, it's great. The smithing capes perk is nice. Whenever you reheat an unfinished smithing item, your next strike generates 5 additional progress. You can do some serious power smithing by casting superheat item between each swing. You get the bonus from the cape and your smithing crafting progress isn't interrupted. I think it's actually one of the better designed perks in the game, surprisingly. It gives bonuses not only for the players seeking high XP rates, but also gives a little something for those who are playing at a low intensity. It's good for everyone. I'd say getting 5 99s in one video is a bit absurd, but all those skills were already at least 97 before I started. Except strength, that wasn't 97, but you know what I mean. Thanks for watching.